Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you this full face of E.L.F. cosmetics. I have a lot of tried and true products in this video today, but I also tried out quite a few products that I have never tested before, and I give you my final thoughts at the end of this video. So if you would like to see how to get this look and my thoughts on some of these E.L.F. products, then just keep watching. Okay, so to start out, I'm going to prime my eyes, and I'm just going to use the E.L.F. HD Lifting Concealer in Fair. I have never used this before, so I'm hoping that it is going to be the right shade. I'm going to be putting that all over my eyes to create a base. I'm just going to blend that out with my L'Oreal sponge. Now, I don't have a powder from E.L.F., so I'm just going to use the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, and I'm just going to set this base so that all the other eyeshadows blend nicely on top of it. Next, I'm going to try this Mad for Matte eyeshadow palette. I have never tried this before, but I've heard wonderful things about it, so I'm super excited to see how this is. I'm going to start by dipping into this sort of mauve tone shade right here. And I'm just going to take that on my Flawless concealer brush and apply that into the transition area. So I zoomed you in a bit closer so it's easier to see. Next, I'm just going to take this neutral brown right here, and I'm going to take that on a Morphe R39 brush and just put that into the transition and crease. Next, I'm going to take my contour brush, and I'm going to dip into this deeper brown shade, and I'm just going to put that on the outer V and a little bit into my crease. And just going to blend that out with my R39 once again to soften any of those harsh edges. Now, just to deepen that up a little bit, I'm going to be taking this dark brown, almost purple shade, and I'm just going to place that on the outer corner to deepen it up a bit and try to add some dimension. Once again, blending that out with my Morphe brush. Okay, so now I'm done with the transition areas. I'm going to dip into another palette for my lid shade. Overall, so far, I think these shadows blended very nicely. I wish that the darker shades were a little bit more pigmented, but overall for $10 and you get 10 shades, I think that that is pretty great. Like I said, they blended very well and they are definitely workable. So I think overall it is a great palette. We will see how it wears throughout the day, but my thoughts right now, I am pretty impressed. So next I'm going to go into the Prism eyeshadow palette. This is in the shade Naked. This is just a bunch of neutral shimmery shades. And as you can see, mine are very well loved. I think this palette is great. Although it is an all shimmer palette, which can be kind of hard to incorporate, I think that it goes perfectly with this Mad for Matte palette that we just used. And for $10, these shimmers are incredible. So I am going to go in with my eyeshadow C brush, and I'm just going to take the second darkest shade in here and put this all over my lid to get a smoky look. Okay, so next I'm going to just add some dimension by taking the next lighter shade and popping this just in the inner half of the eyelid. I just took a makeup wipe and cleaned up the edges a little bit because I did have some fallout, and now I'm going to be giving myself a winged eyeliner with the Lock On Liner and Brow Cream in medium brown. I have also not tried this, but I'm very excited because I love a brown liner. I think it can really complement a look like this. So now that my liner is complete, I will move on to mascara. Although I would typically apply false eyelashes for a dramatic look like this, I do have the 3-in-1 mascara that I would really like to try out, so I'm not going to apply false lashes. I'm just going to apply this on its own to see how it performs. This mascara claims to be an all-in-one professional mascara that helps lengthen, define, and volumize lashes. It has a silicone brush and it says that it has a long-lasting formula that helps give an all-day smudge-free, budge-free wear. So this is what it looks like with one coat. I do think that it really lengthened and defined my eyelashes, however I don't think it gave it much volume at all. I will apply a second layer once this one dries a little bit, and hopefully that will add some volume. But for now, this is what they're looking like with one coat. Now I'm going to move on to the face, and then I will come back and finish up the lower lash line. So I do not have an E.L.F. face primer. I'm going to just use the Wet n Wild PhotoFocus face primer. I have tried the E.L.F. the face primer for correcting redness, and I felt that for my oily skin, it really did not help with controlling my oils. So I do not like that one. I have not tried any others from E.L.F. But I do like this Wet n Wild PhotoFocus foundation primer. Now I'm going to try out the Oil-Free Flawless Finish Foundation. I have mine in the shade Sand. I am not sure if this is going to be my color. I'm hoping. I have not tried this foundation, but I've heard great things about it, so I'm really interested to try it. So it comes in this very nice glass or hard plastic, I believe it's glass, container. And it does have a pump, which is awesome. So this is quite a thick foundation, as you can see. And I'm just going to blend that out once again with my L'Oreal sponge. So this is what it looks like with one layer. I'm going to add a little bit more right here. So the shade Sand was actually a pretty good shade match for me, I would say. So I did zoom you in just a bit so that you can see the texture. I think that it is laying very well on my skin. It's not sitting on top of my skin or emphasizing any dry patches. I do tend to get pretty dry right in between my eyebrows, and as you can see, it actually does not look dry there whatsoever, which is something I typically tend to get with any foundation that I use, so that is very impressive. Now I'm going to take that same concealer that I used to prime my eyes. Once again, this is in the shade Fair, and I'm going to apply this underneath my eyes to highlight and conceal. One thing I do notice with this concealer is that the brush does not deposit a lot of product, which can be a good or bad thing depending on what you like. I think that is doing a pretty great job of concealing, and it is not dry. It's not making my under eye look dry and crepey, so that is looking pretty good so far. I'm just going to go ahead and set that with my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder once again, and I'm going to set my under eye concealer and lightly the rest of my face. Next, I'm going to move on to bronzer. I'm just going to use the bronzer palette. This comes with 4 bronzer shades, and I think that these shades are great if you are looking to build a kit. I will be using this bottom left shade here. It does appear to have some gold reflex in it, but that translates on the skin as just a luminous finish. Now that that is done, I'm going to add a little bit of blush, and I'm using the Dark Blush palette by E.L.F. And I'm just going to dip into a little bit of this more coral shade up here. And I'm just going to apply a very light layer of this to my cheeks. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some highlight. This is Moonlight Pearls. This is a great pearly highlight shade. I think that it is wonderful for fair skin tones or even medium skin tones. This looks great. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Lock On liner and brow cream for my eyebrows, and I will do this off camera and be right back. And I'm just going to take some of the Moonlight Pearls highlight and add this as an inner corner and brow bone highlight as well. So to complete this look, I'm going to finish off with a lip color. This is the Luscious liquid lipstick, and this is in the shade Bark. I love this because it gives quite a glossy finish and it gives a good pigmentation as well. Okay, so I just want to give you a quick rundown of what I tried today. So far, I am loving this Mad for Matte palette. I think that it is a great drugstore option for more neutral matte shades. The Lock On liner and brow cream, I really enjoyed this for a liner, not so much a brow cream. It was a little bit too creamy for my taste. I think the color is great because it is more cool tone, which can be harder to find, especially at the drugstore. I, of course, clearly love the Prism Naked eyeshadow palette with all these shimmer shades. I think that these are great shadows. As for the foundation and concealer, I don't think I'm liking this HD lifting concealer so far. It did crease on me within about 5 minutes after setting it, which is typically not something that I have a problem with. So I don't think that I will continue using this for concealer. As for the foundation, I think that it has a great coverage and it did not oxidize on me. It was a pretty good shade match in my opinion. I am not sure how long this lasts, but I will definitely update you. If the lasting power is great, then I would definitely snag this up. As for the blush and bronzer palettes, I do really like these. I think that a little goes a long way, and I think that it is great that you get a variety of shades in these, so I definitely recommend these palettes. The mascara I am not a fan of. I think that it didn't really do much for my lashes. It is not as black as other mascaras that I have, and it really defined and lengthened, but it did not give me any volume whatsoever. So if you are looking for a specific lengthening mascara, I would recommend this. I think that it does a great job at lengthening. However, I like a little bit more volume than what I got from this, so I don't think that I will be reaching for this as much as I had hoped. This highlight I of course love. I have used this a lot and I think that it is a great highlight and can double as an eyeshadow, which is awesome. I definitely recommend this. If you have a light to medium skin tone especially, I think that it'll look great on you. And finally, this Luscious lipstick. I do really like these. I think they give a great glossy appearance and I think that it is a great natural color. Okay guys, so that wraps up this E.L.F. full face and somewhat of first impressions. I had a lot of fun creating this look. If you would like to see more of these one brand tutorials, be sure to give this a thumbs up and comment down below what other brands you would like to see. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it and I will see you in the next one.